Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes of Mike. I'm your host, Michael Beckford. This is a 5 Minutes of Mike Sports Edition. And in today's topic, we're going to talk about what in the world happened to CJ Stroud. And we're also going to talk about the win of the Indiana Hoosiers. First time they won a national championship game in the history of their school in football. All right, guys, we'll see you on the other side. This is 5 Minutes of Mike Sports with your host, Michael Beckford.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow.
All right, guys. Once again, I want to talk about this particular individual that I love as an overall human being, as an athlete. His name is CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans, quarterback. CJ Stroud had an extraordinary rookie year, but he's had quite a bit of struggles his sophomore and really struggled in this playoffs, this past two games of the playoffs between the Pittsburgh Steelers and a horrible game against the Patriots. Okay, horrible. And I mean, a lot of us, I guess, want to know what happened. Listen, almost every NFL player goes through that sophomore slump. You know, I believe it happened to Daniels of the Washington Redskins. He had a phenomenal season, although I can't really say he had a true sophomore slump, just because of the fact that he was injury prone for most of the year with the Commanders. But you know, statistically, obviously, it was shown that he has a sophomore slump. But counting injury, I can't count it. I'm really gonna have to give the Washington Commanders quarterback Daniels a third year to find out. But getting back into CJ Stroud, let's just go through the numbers. In 2023, his rookie season, his passer rating was 100.8. He had 4,108 passing yards. That's about the same amount of yards that Lamar Jackson had that year, which that was the year that Lamar won the MVP. His touchdown interception ratio was 23.5. It's pretty darn good as well. His yards per attempt was 8.2. He was only sacked 38 times. I mean, I remember watching Stroud when he first took the field in Texas. I think I was in Texas at the time. I don't know. I've been back and forth to Texas so many times, to Houston. Either way, I saw it on TV. And I mean, here you got this young dreadhead, locks. He got locks in his hair. I still had my locks at the time. I am growing my hair back out right now. But anyway, but here you have this young, light-skinned, God-fearing, handsome young man that's pretty much has the brightest future ahead of him. Speaks well, very eloquent, very sure about himself at the time, in the moment, and just locked in to what he had to do, his objective of football. Mind you, the backstory, of course, the Texans had lost Deshaun Watson, who obviously would be a kind of a bust to the Cleveland Browns thus far. But anyway, before CJ Stroud, they were pretty much, the Texans were looking for the next best, who's going to be the legacy quarterback, or who's going to take over the helm for such a great job that Deshaun Watson had done for Cleveland, right? And alongside of this, DeMarco Ryan, this is his first year as well. So he had a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach. And the whole world was watching. Like, what's going to happen? You got this quarterback from Ohio State, which unfortunately Ohio State quarterbacks have gotten bad flacks in regards to turning out to being not so great quarterbacks. But anyway, when we saw the rookie season for CJ Stroud, a lot of people was like, oh no, this is going to be somebody different. And more so, people were starting to talk legacy. people were starting to say CJ Stroud is going to be on another stratosphere when it comes down to quarterbacks. Because honestly, we hadn't seen a rookie do those kind of numbers until, well, guess what? Daniels came into play for the Commanders the year following. But 2023, he had an awesome season. Awesome season. And also took them to the playoffs. End up in the playoffs that year. They lost to the Ravens. But either way, I mean, they went all the way. Every year that CJ Stroud has been with the Texans, they gone to the playoffs with under the head coach of DeMarco Ryans. Then 2024 came around. Started having problems. Now, look, we all know that quarterbacks is just about as good as their protection, okay? He was not getting as much protection as you would like for a young quarterback to get. So the dude was sacked 52 times compared to 38 times. Now, in his sophomore season, I would say he was a lot more hesitant about things as well. I think he probably got a little shook up, after sorry guys, I'm getting over a bit of a cold.
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Padsplit. In a pinch and need a place to stay for cheap? Try Padsplit and get $25 credit once approved for a room near you. Locations and restrictions apply. Hit the link below and get approved for your next room. Now, do you have a vacant home that's been listed on the market forever? Make money from your home today using Padsplit. Earn passive income and make it a Padsplit home today. Link in the description below.
But after getting hit quite a bit of times, it could play with you. Defenses, I played defense when I played. Defenses will do such a thing to get you off your guard, right? And so as far as his numbers in 2024, his sophomore season, he had an 87 passer rating. His passing yards didn't go down as much. It was 30 to 3,727. But here's a big difference. Now, this happens if you get pressured, right? His touchdown to interception ratio went up double. Okay? More than double, actually. 20 to 12. Not good. His yards per attempt went down from 8.2 to 7. So remember, in his 2023 season, his touchdown to interception ratio was 23 to 5 and 20 to 12. Like, I remember watching CJ Stroud his rookie season. I was like, this dude don't ever throw interceptions. Like, that's crazy for a rookie. Because all I saw from rookies or even backup quarterbacks, the moment they get in, they have the backup for the quarterback is they start throwing interceptions, So to see this guy come in with just such a perfect passer rating, and then it went down, like I said. But guess what? Pressure will make that happen. But that was a terrible touchdown interception. 20 to 12 is not good. That is 12 interceptions in the season is not good for any quarterback, especially if this is going to be your franchise-leaning quarterback. You don't want that. I remember early on in Lamar Jackson's journey, he was susceptible to throwing a lot of picks at one point. But then the more and more he fine-tuned his craft, the better he got, as a quarterback. Till Lamar Jackson had a season this past year. We all know he was injured. But the season before last, 2024, in C.J. Stroud's sophomore season, Lamar Jackson only had 4 picks with over 4,000 yards. And he had over 40-something touchdowns. I mean, you couldn't ask for a perfect season from a quarterback that, when it come down to Lamar Jackson's sake, they said, oh, he should have just be a wide receiver or a cornerback, But anyway, getting back to what happened to C.J. Stroud. I don't know. We're going to talk about his 2025 numbers. So this season, 2025, his passing per yards went down just a tad bit, 3,041 yards. His touchdown to interception ratio, 19-8, which is about 50%. 50% of the touchdowns he threw, eight of them was 8 interceptions, I should say. That was Not good. He had a completion ratio of 64.5. And obviously, we all know, which brought us to this episode, his season ended in 4 freaking interceptions with a 28 passer rating to the 28-16 loss to the Patriots. Now, I think what happened to C.J. Stroud, like I said, I don't know specifically. I think what happened to C.J. Stroud, right? And his regular season stats, outside of interceptions, they're nothing to brag home about. But with the spectacular defense that the Texans have, this could have got them to the Super Bowl. Like, you don't have to have a superstar quarterback or even a franchise-style quarterback when you have an excellent defense. You just don't, okay? Your defense pretty much is helping carry you, and they're going to make you look better, right? Your job is just to protect the ball. So an average quarterback would have been just okay against the Bills, okay? An average quarterback. Because quite honestly, his stats from this year, and especially his sophomore year, were average. They're not a franchise-leading quarterback. They're average, okay? But I think what happened to C.J. Stroud is C.J. Stroud, from what I've heard, the rumors, lost his way, okay? He lost his way, from what I've heard, in regards to he took some things to the head from his rookie campaign, okay? That's from what I heard. But honestly, it's okay for someone to feel the way they may feel about, let's say, an individual. I mean, their particular individual stats based upon the things that they themselves had done, right? If they thought that they did a hell of a job in their rookie season, well, may all props be to them. But what I think happened to C.J. Stroud, as we get to conclusion of this part and get into the national championship game from the other day, what I think happened to C.J. Stroud is I don't think he has a true quarterback coach that has helped, that's been there to help develop him. Okay? I think his development process is what happened to C.J. Stroud. I think he needs a true quarterback coach to develop him and to enrich him and to target his best pieces. Alongside of that, I think he needs some better pieces on the offensive line, right, to better protect him. And then obviously can use some healthier receivers. I don't know why the Houston Texans let go of Stephon Diggs, by the way. Stephon Diggs caught some great passes against the Texans and the Patriots win the other day. I don't know why they let him go, but either way, could be a contract dispute. Could be Stephon Diggs, bigger than life type of attitude, prima donna, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But going back to this situation with C.J. Stroud, I think they need to bring in a true quarterback coach that can really get him and help him and guide him to where he needs to be. I don't know what type of film CJ is watching. I'm sure he's doing his due diligence and everything. CJ comes off as a very respectable, humble type of individual. So he's somebody it's hard to like be mad at. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, they lost the game. Yeah, they probably could have gone all the way to the chip. But man, can you really be mad at somebody that's this humble? At least he exudes these levels of humble. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if he gets a true quarterback coach to help lead him and guide him in the right direction, that he'll be better for it in the next upcoming season. Because I still think that he can be a franchise quarterback. What he showed us in his rookie season is truly who he can be. I believe so. All right, now, on to the Indiana Hoosiers defeated the Miami Hurricanes. Listen, I wasn't happy about this. I was not happy about this win at all because anybody that knows where I'm from, you know that I'm from Miami. I'm a diehard Miami Hurricanes fan. It's the one, the Miami team, along with the Miami Heat, I stay riding with. The Dolphins disappointed me so much till I don't have no hope in them, and I don't like Tua. I never liked them, and I'm happy he's bench riding right now. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. When it comes down to Indiana Hoosiers, man, they had a good ass season, bro. They went 16-0. They went 16-0. Historically, that's not been done in a very long time. They were the number one team, and they beat the number 10 ranked team in the nation, and they won 27-21. I can't be mad at it. At the end of the day, I watched the whole game. I saw some plays that could have gone in Miami's favor that we didn't take advantage of. And, quite honestly, they won the game. The last interception thrown by Beck, some call him Becky. I'm not going to lie. I don't like him either as a quarterback for Miami. Good thing he ain't going to be there again next year. But I may not like him. But at the end of the day, I was rooting for him because I'm rooting for Miami to win, But one of the biggest reasons I didn't like him because I saw him at Georgia and I knew that he was interception prone. And this ball, the way he threw this ball, it definitely was not on the receiver. The way he threw it, it was very underthrown. It was very underthrown. That's why obviously it was interception. Now, interceptions not always obvious. Some interceptions are not on the quarterback. And quite honestly, Beck did a pretty good job in this game. He held his own, just in all fairness. The game got down to the last minute. But this is the type of game, this is what happens in these type of games. Playoffs games, national championship games, they're going to get to the last minute. And Beck has been there before, And so at the end of the day, the quarterback from Indiana, Fernando, number 15, he got quite a story to tell. He's homegrown from out of Miami, as a lot of players, which I'm going to do an episode about this too, in regards to the manufacture of players from out of Florida into all these different universities and making them great and better. And a lot of this is because of NIL, right? It's because of NIL that teams like Indiana has a chance. Indiana never won a national championship game in the history of this particular school, But it's because of deals like having NIL, name, image, likeness, that you're able to get talent from a place like Miami, a place I grew up in, and, spread it all around. And now you kind of go against the almighty SEC and say, hey, no, we belong here too. Because this talent that would have been sitting at, let's say, in Alabama, three positions deep, when it comes down to it, these stars are like, hey, wait a minute, why am I going to sit at in Alabama? Why am I going to sit at in Miami when I can go and start right then here in Indiana? And so when you think about the quarterback from Indiana, he said, hey, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback, he said, Miami didn't give me a chance. They wanted me to be I don't even think they wanted him to be a walk-on or something of that nature, he was saying. But he's like, Indiana out the door, they gave me a chance. And the dude won the Heisman Trophy. I mean, come on. Honestly, I love his character. To me, his character is a lot better than, Beck. If I had to prefer a quarterback out of the two, I would take this quarterback. I like the Ole Miss quarterback a little bit better than both. But if I had to choose between the two quarterbacks, I would have took Fernando. This dude is a beast. This dude got hit a couple times upside the head that, they didn't get called by the refs. Hey, he was bleeding, out his nose and everything. And it still went down like a dog and did his thing, put his whole body on the line, So I can respect a player like this. And, congratulations to Indiana. Did y'all want you guys to win? Of course not. But at the end of the day, you guys, you dug through and you deserve to win. And Miami, hey, keep your heads up. You guys did what you did this whole season. The defense was phenomenal for the most part throughout the game. Man, running back number 10 from Miami, man, him and his mom, bro, they got quite a story as well. So, man, Miami is back, or should be back for all we know, right? It's time to rebuild. Don't do a Florida State, you know what I'm saying? Let's get back there, and you guys can win a chip. Just got to have the right pieces coming back next year, and, in your recruiting pool, you guys will figure it out. But anyway, that's the end of this episode here. Like and subscribe. Thank you for listening and watching.
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Michael D. Beckford's newest book, HOMEBOYS. Everybody has a homeboy, or friends call his own. The best friend you kick it with at the family barbecue. The one you trust to bring around your lady without raising a red flag. A homeboy will play video games, smoke, and chill. A homeboy is a nigga you can ride or die, and the one you sleep with on the low. HOMEBOYS, available in ebook and paperback or wherever books are sold.